Ever want to buy a graphics card but your former employer still owes you $500 for work you did months ago?
Oh, I guess it came down in price.
Now, not that I'm projecting or anything, but such a situation would restrict your budget by quite a bit. Luckily, I have the solution for you, my fellow exploited workers, the K600. It is a Quadro, which means that it's not really meant for gaming, but they use roughly the same GPU as the GeForce lineup, so it should perform accordingly. The Quadro K600 is powered by the GK107 GPU. This was used in a variety of Quadro cards, other GeForce cards, and even grid graphics cards that were apparently used for cloud gaming. It was last seen in a version of the GT1030 that came out in 2018, but hasn't been newly utilized since then. Based on the Kepler architecture and built on the 28nm process, this processor has a total of 1,300 million transistors, 16 render output units, 16 texture mapping units, a core clock of 876 MHz, and 1 GB of DDR3 VRAM clocked at 891 MHz with a 128-bit bus width. But most importantly, it comes with support for DirectX 12. It is the most basic level of support, but it does mean that we'll be able to run many modern applications. The test system we're going to be using today is a modified HP computer with 16 gigs of RAM and an i3-4130. We're also going to be running Windows 7 because anything newer is going to bog down the system, and Linux is, to your average consumer, completely irrelevant. Before we get into the actual benchmarks, I'm going to go ahead and turn everything to the performance settings in NVIDIA control panel. This might not make things look quite as nice, but we're going for performance, not quality here. We'll set the OpenGL renderer to the K600. Power management mode, we'll turn that to maximum performance. High quality texture filtering, no. A high performance, please. And that should be just about it. Now let's see what this 9-year-old Quadro has to offer. For BeamNG, I think I'm going to try running a bit more intensive of a map and go with Utah, where I know they have a lot of foliage and a lot of roads to drive on. Yeah, this wasn't a great game to start off with. I hovered around 30 FPS and 720p with the lowest settings, which isn't bad, but there was significant input lag. I found the further decrease in the resolution didn't really fix the issue, and I mean, I guess you could get used to it, but it's not gonna be great. It was still playable though, as you don't really need high frame rates to play simulation games, since not much is changing frame to frame. And the next game we're going to be playing is Grand Theft Auto 5. This game actually ran really well, and the optimization of GTA 5 never fails to impress. I still ran it in 720p with the lowest settings, but it was stable with an average frame rate of 43, so I can't complain. Also, I finally splurged and bought a capture card, so these recordings shouldn't have impacted performance. And now, it's time for the anime game. Genshin Impact ran decently. With the lowest settings in 720p and a render scale of 0.8, it didn't look the best, which really takes away from the atmosphere of the game, but it performed well, with an average frame rate of 45. But it'll probably still run better on most phones made after 2019. Now, this game is garbage, but we're still gonna test it. In CSGO, I was actually able to push 1080p with low settings, with a legitimately competitive experience. The frame rate fluctuated in the upper 30s and lower 40s, but you could easily increase it by dropping the resolution a bit more. I still don't recommend even touching this game though, but that's not the K600's fault. And the next game we're going to be playing is Rainbow Six Siege. Considering the hardware we're working with, Siege actually ran pretty well. With the lowest settings in 720p and a 25% render scale, we got an average of 42 FPS. Since the render resolution was so low, the game kinda looked like an oil painting, so I tried increasing it to 75%. This did cause our average frame rate to drop to 31, but it looked much better, and was, dare I say, playable. And the next game we're going to be playing is Doom. It says stream because I'm recording it on this computer, not the test computer, because this one shut off and I'm not going to turn it back on just to record a 5-second clip. Doom kind of ran decently. With the lowest settings and a resolution of 1366 by 768 and a render resolution of 75%, the K600 got an average frame rate of 22. Yeah, there's not much good to say about this one. It didn't run well, it didn't look good, and really struggled in this title. But to answer the question, can you game on the K600? I guess you can if you want to play games on... What? Shut up. If you want to play games at 720p with the lowest settings, yeah, this is the perfect graphics card for you, but this is not what most people are looking for. There's definitely other cards you can find in the price range of $15 to $25, so the K600, don't get it for gaming. I kind of feel like this card is the definition of it's not much, but it's honest work, except the card is just spitting out placebo frames. I can't really recommend it. There are better cards in the same price range, and yeah, this is a piece of e-waste basically. Can you game on e-waste? Oh, and we also have a community Discord server where we discuss a variety of topics, link in the description. With that, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed the video. I've left a few donation methods in the description, and if you want to directly support the channel, that's a great way to do so. If you have any questions or related comments, then leave them below and I'll be sure to respond to them. While you're at it, consider subscribing or leaving a like because it genuinely helps me out. That's about it. Have a great day. Bye.